Hello everyone. Please let me know if you are able to hear me. Okay, so let's start. As I said, this is Salim. You can call me Salim, and please be keep a habit of calling by name in the office culture. There is nothing bad in calling someone name. In fact, it's a culture of you can say office environment. Let them be senior in your age. Okay, you have to call them Salim means by name. So while I'm having a discussion with you, I'm also looking in the chat window. Fine. Before we move ahead, there are a couple of things from my end where I would like to discuss with you, and then we will start. That will help us to have a better conversation and a useful listening sessions. Before I start, I just want one or two volunteer from your end. It can be anyone or it can be everyone. Uh, you have to put a notes. Means I'll be asking couple of questions to you or giving you couple of assignments. So one or everyone can make a note and share with the management of this call. So after this call, that should means everyone should have a assignment or things which I have asked to check. They should work on it. So it's up to you. If everyone wants to make a note, they can make a note, or anyone can make a note and share it in the this community where call has been joined. Okay, so that was one thing. Second thing, at any moment, if you have any queries, so I'll be having 10 to 15 minutes, means I'll be discussing from my end for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll be stopping. So you can ask the queries when I say that, okay, if you have any queries, please make sure whatever I'm discussing, we discuss on the same point. Like we are discussing topic A. So I'll give you a time to ask a question on topic A. Then I'll start topic B. Then I'll give you more time to ask questions on topic B. You have to make sure if you have any queries when I'm giving a time for topic B, you should be asking for topic B only. Although you might have question for topic A, that's very obvious, no worries. But at a time of topic B, don't mention your question that time. Later, as I said, you can cover a notes. You can share your questions and query to the management of this call, and they will share with me. And I'll try my best to reply on that also. So that was a second part from me. And third part, please bear with me because the topic which I'm going to share you, it's 100% practical in your day-to-day life. But believe me, it's more than 100% kind of boring because it's theoretical. What I want from you is your 100% attention to capture whatever you can. Okay, no worries. As I said, it's going to be a boring topic, but I'll try my best to make it more interesting and relevant. Please make a note. It's 100% relevant for your day-to-day practicals. When you jump into production, without this, although you may be 100% technical, but without this, you won't be able to sustain more. Means it will be very tough for you when you don't understand the process. Okay, fine. That was the last thing from me. Before I move ahead, I just want to know you that we are going to have a session on ITIL. Okay, and you might have a lot of questions. There will be a couple of persons who are not aware about ITIL, not even the full form of ITIL. So I'll be putting a couple of notes, and as I said, I'll be giving assignment. So I was like, won't be giving you a lot of notes. I'll just give you questions. Very first thing, what is ITIL? Okay, and that's I think that's the only thing you can expect from me, a full form of ITIL. Okay, okay. Tell me what is IT? Then LI, that's different thing. Anyone or any two, what is IT? In tech, as I said, it's in fact in tech, information technology. That's right. Yeah, you got it 50% correct. Then what's IL? I don't expect, guys, when guys and girls, when I ask you a question, I don't expect answer from you. I just want you don't go in sleep. As I said, it's going to be theoretical. So please focus. I'll try my best to make it more interesting. You can Google. We are not in an examination hall. You can Google. It's practical life, and Google is your best friend. Okay, but you should be aware that how to search. You should be aware that how to search on Google. So that's a different session. I believe you might have gone through that session. Exactly. I got a lot of response. Thanks a lot. It's information technology, right? Infrastructure library. That's a topic we are going to have. A couple of them might be like, what the hell is this? Right? So, guys, we are jumping into IT industry, right? I believe most of you who, who are here, they pursue, means they happen to pursue a career in IT. And as I said, IT doesn't work without ITIL. It's not a technology. Those who are thinking it might be tool or technology, it's not a technology. Okay. The ITIL is just a guidelines or framework, you can say, where IT industry can utilize those framework, those guidelines, or in our term, it's best practices to run IT industry. When you're working as IT professional, there are best practices that you should follow. So the complete IT infrastructure can run smoothly and under control. That's the idea behind ITIL. Before we move ahead into this ITIL, I'll just give you why it is important for you to know ITIL. Well, that's what this interest will develop. That's what the hell shall I do the ITIL? Why should I do that? I believe everyone is looking for a career, right? And looking a career in IT. Just imagine and look into future, right? When I say future, that means by experience. When you're doing something, you're learning, you're seeking for an opportunity, you will get an offer letter, you will join a company. Okay. For everyone, you will have a belief that you are going to join an organization. Some of you might open their own organization, drive their own project. That's a different level. But maximum can go grab an opportunity, have a job, and they join a project. Now it's the first day of their induction. What's induction? It's the first day of your company when you join. They give you an introduction of the company. They ask you a couple of information, documents, and everything. They will create your ID. And at the end of the induction, they will give you a manager's number, a point of contact, your project. This is a contact. Go and connect with this project guy or manager. They will help you to continue on the project. That's it. Now this is your second day, and from second day till last day of your work, you are going to work in the IT. Now this is a moment where assume that you are an administrator. That's a role. Means I'm just giving an overview. You might be a solution architect, you might be on different role, but you're working in IT. For this session, believe that you have joined a project. Now you are administrator. That's a belief you should have. That's how it's going to drive. If you don't believe in yourself, like I'm an administrator, I can handle operation and how it's going to run. So that's a belief you should have that I'm going to be an administrator and I'm going to handle the operations, the projects, the productions. Now, big question. You are standing or sitting on the floor. How you are going to know that there is something wrong in the production environment, or some users are facing any challenges, or there is something which has to be done now or later? There are any changes in the environment, how to handle those things? Lot of things. How an administrator will come to know that he or she has to perform some task. This communication, how they will know, how will they communicate with the users that this is what we are doing or this is what we are solving. Okay. I believe you got my point. Imagine you are sitting on a floor of a production floor on a chair. You are an administrator or IT person. Now, how you are going to know that you have to work on something? I believe you got my questions. I wait for a minute. I want your responses. Let it be a chat or a discussion, but it should be one by one. There should be no chaos on the this thing meeting. Okay, I'm looking in the chat window for your questions. Any idea, being an administrator or IT support guy, how you will come to know that there is a problem or there is a challenge in the environment, and it is expected as an administrator to acknowledge that problem and solve it. Correct? I got more, yeah, not couple more of the correct answer. It's a tickets process of flow. That's right. Cool. I got my response. That shows that you're not sleeping. At least some who are typing, those are not sleeping. Great. Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's what I was looking into. No doubt that I'll let you know what's ticketing tool, what's the deep dive of ITIL everything. But I just want you to put your focus over here. Okay. I don't expect any answers, perfect answer from you. I just want you to try. Great. Provide guidelines. Okay. Fine. Tickets. Yeah, that's correct. You will receive a ticket, and by the ticket you will come to know that this has been broken or this task has to be completed by an admin, and then you have to start working on it. That's an overview, that how an admin receive is how you work. That's how you work. You don't go there and let's say that, okay, I'm a new admin, what I'll do, I'll start the Adobe installation from the beginning. I want everything from my end, who is, so I'll wrap up everything and I'll install the fresh this thing, Cloudera or whatever distribution you are saying. It's not going to be like that. You have to follow a couple of process. Okay. So what is ticket? You'll receive a ticket. What's a ticket? Any idea? Any rough idea? Challenge statement, mails, request, problem statement. Okay. Yep. Got it. Thanks. Issues, service request. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Ticket simply means it's just a funky name to say that, hey, I have an issue. There is something which is broken. Now, as an admin, you have to solve it. So that's a professional name, you can say, ITIL term. Okay, ITIL term that someone refers to you. Okay, it can be an email, but most of the time when you're working on a big project, they will have a proper tool to create a ticket and assign to someone. That tool is known as ticketing tool, and that ticketing tool can be of many companies. Depending on the companies, you may have different communication channel. Very popular nowadays, which can be found on most of the project, is service now. Service now is a tool of it's a ticketing tool where you can create a ticket, you will can assign it to anyone, or you can receive a ticket by anyone. That's simple. Assume that if you have used a Gmail, your emails or anything, it's similar to that only. Just open any tool. If you have a message or ticket, you can see over there. If you want to give someone ticket, you can create a ticket and you can give to them. It's just communication pattern. So that ticketing tool, like I gave you an example, is ServiceNow. It can be of any companies, many companies. That's a popular one. Next popular one is Jira. Okay, Jira is also a very strong ticketing tool, or I can say it also has a ticketing tool facility, and it's very strong, more than ticketing tool. Okay, development works on the Jira. Developers love it because they track their all the activities over there. That's a different topic. It's not to focus as of now. We will be focusing on ITIL. And I believe you all are aware that we are going to have this topic in two sessions, 1 hour today and 1 hour tomorrow. So I'll be covering, I know what I have to cover 50%. So To give a heads up, we are just going to cover the major four topics: incident management, okay, problem management, change management. These are the three major topics, and apart from that, there will be a general day-to-day tools which helps an admin. There will be subtopics, obviously, but these are the four major topics for these two sessions. So today I'll be covering incident management, uh, everything about incident management, service request, these two topics, and couple of other tools which an admin use. Okay, fine. So till now I have tell you what is an ITIL. It's just a guidelines or it's a framework where IT industry can use it, modify it as per the requirement, and then give a best practice. Those best practice are implemented in a tool. It can be any monitoring tool, and that can be used in a production environment or any environment. Till now, this is what we have gone through. I'll stop over here. I would like to hear from you if you have any queries regarding what I say, or if you still want to know anything which has to be discussed before we move to incident management. You can put your questions. Uh, Abdul, you can refer me as Salim, as I said in the earlier discussion also. Just refer by name. If you hit the production floor, if your manager is there, she or he is of 50 years old, and then also you can refer them by their name. That's a culture of uh, IT industry. Okay? So nothing bad in calling my name. I know it's conflict with our culture, Indian culture. We don't call any elder person and senior person by their name. So there is nothing wrong. It's a culture of IT industry. You're going as an experienced person. So don't sound like a fresher. Sound like an experienced person. You never call sir or madam. Okay. Shubham says no questions. Okay, great. If anyone has a question, and believe me, no questions are silly. You can put your questions. Okay. So I know how because I also don't get things in one go, and no questions are silly. You can ask any silly question to me, but on the topic which we are discussing. If you want, you can give me one-to-one message also. I'm really sorry, Sachin. I don't have a scope of sharing a screen or prepare a slide for you. So I'm really sorry for that. That's a good idea. That couple of slides should be there. Whiteboard sessions should be there. So it's easy to visualize, especially a topic like ITL. Okay. A couple of guys says I can talk in Hindi. Hindi English mix. It's going to be Bhojpuri English. Okay. Uh, no offense. Sorry for Bhojpuri guys, but it's a term. Okay. ठीक है. Uh, I'm reading into chats. Yeah. Okay. I have gone through the maximum question, and I'll try my best to cover them. Okay. Okay. Fine. Very first thing ITIL, where it came into, and how does an IT industry adopt it? Is it something which is by rule, right? Is there any charges of ITIL? Okay. As I said, it's an independent. There is a group. Don't go into history much. Just have an overview. By using the best practices, there is a group of people. There is an organization. Okay, they develop this ITIL, and they have the couple of version ITIL 1, 2, 3, something like that. Latest is the 4. It's just a best practice. Looking into the current requirement, they keep developing their self. and they find out what are the best practices to achieve the IT operations to deliver the when you say IT, it's not just operations, it's also development, a complete IT solutions. It's not just for the administration. Okay, so ITL itself is a big topic. You don't have to go in that. You have to just focus on the topics which are relevant to an admin for an operations. Second thing, it as I said, it has a career in it, so you can have a certification for it. When you start earning, I'll recommend you to apply for certification for ITL Foundation, at least Foundation. That puts a weightage on your resume, but now don't invest anything until unless you don't earn. When you join company, ask your manager or look at policies and then apply for the certification. Don't invest now as of now if you're not earning. But keep it on your to-do list that when you join a company, you're going to have a certification. Okay, and that's a short history about ITL. Is ITL tool? क्या ITL एक एप्लीकेशन है? नहीं, ITL एप्लीकेशन नहीं है. It's a set of rules, guidelines. Is it compulsory to follow each and every rules? No. Some industry might be small scale industry, so they have IT very limited. Some are multinational, so they have a complete dependency on IT. Looking at the requirement, keep this in mind. Looking at the IT requirement, you can adopt whatever best practices are there. Okay, and then you can start implementing them. It's nothing like that you have to completely apply those. It's completely on your project. Important question, do we have to do anything ITIL? Matlab, when you install something, when you deploy or when you start a project, it's not up to you. There will be project management, there will be a ITIL team. Okay, they will do it for you. They will define the SLAs. What are SLAs? I'll come to later. They will define everything. When you join a project, you have to just follow those practice. You don't have to create anything new. So that's a big relief that you don't have to do anything. It's just a best practice that you have to follow when you join a project. Just understand when you join a project, just understand this is how I have to follow. That's it. But when they say that, okay, we have P1 raised, you should be in a situation where you can understand what's P1 and how to react. आप एडमिन हो एंड एक टिकट है P1 के नाम से आपके लिए. ओके, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि हाउ टू रिएक्ट ऑन P1. If you don't know what is P1, how you are going to react. What's P1? It's going to come in later sessions. But I just want you to understand the seriousness or the responsibility of an admin and why it is important to deal with ITIL. Okay. Okay. There are a couple of questions which can be covered in later sessions. I have gone through them, but let's continue. Very first thing in ITIL, if you understood ITIL, what is ITIL? Just understand, or if you don't understand, just keep in your mind. It's a best practice to follow in IT team. It's already defined by your manager, your ITIL persons, and they will make a note, they will make a document, they will just give it to you, and you have to just follow. That's it. Not jumping to your role, you are admin, and coming to the incident. Okay, incident management. As an admin, what is expected by you? आपको करना क्या है if you receive an incident? So coming to the incident, okay, what is an incident? An interesting question. ITIL and quality department, no. Quality department is something different. ITIL is something different. But both make sure the IT operations are running smooth. Both has their responsibilities, but they are not the same. And next question would be like, who take cares about ITIL, right? So it's a best practice. If guidelines are given to you, it's a responsibility of the management to make sure you're following the guidelines. Although there might be incident managers, change managers, problem managers, okay, There will be a couple of manager. Those guys will not be technical guys. They will just know the ITIL and they make sure the team is following it, and they will help you to understand and coordinate within the users and the IT teams. Depend on the project size, budget, you may have those ITIL team or not, but your manager is responsible that team is following the given practices baselines. Okay, coming to the first topic. Yeah, that's the first topic after half an hour, that is incident management. I'll be giving you a couple of links that can give you an idea where to read, or I'll let you know if you just go to Google and type. Uh, you can refer a couple of. I just want you to focus on the this thing. Organization which manages ITL, who has right to contribute in the ITL. It's Exilos. Exilos is one of them. Okay, and ITL itself has their own this thing forum and website. So I'll let you know later. I'll give it to someone so they can share with you. But don't refer. ServiceNow means ServiceNow is a company which create a tool and which make sure their tool are compatible with the ITL guidelines. So you can refer ServiceNow if you are showing as a ticketing tool to as a ServiceNow, then you can refer that also. Uh, just give a minute. I'm looking on the important questions. So if any question depends on the next topic, we can discuss them. Otherwise, we will move to incident management, which ticketing tool mostly used in companies. Depends. It depends on their means. You cannot say, okay, I know service now, I will work only on service now. You join there a complete organization using only one tool, you have to work on that. You can say that I don't know, I have not worked on this tool, I have worked on another tool. So they will give you a best practice. It's like if you know to drive one car, okay, then you can drive another car. That's the logic behind that. If you know one ticketing tool concept of ITIL, you can easily have a transition on another ticketing tool. What type of documents department? Sorry, what type of department we as an admin going to deal with? Mostly we deal with the data department. It can be known as data science, data engineering, data AI. Most of the time we are called as a data warehouse guys. Sometimes we are called as a database administrator too. Depends. There is nothing fixed. That's why it's called framework. Framework means you can use as per your requirement. There is nothing standard. If it's standard, then you have to follow, each and everyone has to follow that only. That's the difference between a standard and framework. And for humanity and for the human culture, it's always going to be framework kind of thing, because you have some requirements, some capacities. Other may have some requirements, other capacities. Depending on your requirement, you can use that. If someone try to make a standard for everyone, it's going to be tough. Okay, so that's why similar concept is used in the office environment also. It should be easy for each and everyone to follow. Yeah, there can be couple of things which can be standard. It's like if anything is mandatory, it should be common for everyone. So there is nothing standard that you fall on data department only or you fall under this only. It's important you join any company, join a project and administrator, start working, start learning, and start earning also. Okay, I can see the rest of the questions can be focused later part, starting with the incident management. The term incident, you have to focus on the terms when you're giving an interview, when you're working on the project. You have to focus on the terms. You have to use those terms only. Don't use any other terms. Although that thing like incident may call as a problem or challenge or issues, fine, but the official term is incident. You have to follow the terms which ITIL says or which are used in project. Don't go with the slangs. avoid using slangs. Slangs is a word which is generally understood by means if a person or two familiar person are using, if third person comes in, he might not be aware about that word. Okay, it's a buddy word kind of thing. Avoid slangs, buddy words in official language. Sound like a professional. Okay, so coming back to the incident management, with respect to ITIL, it is your first assignment. Okay, with respect to ITIL, you have to see what is a definition of an incident. It's a first assignment. Keep it with yourself. You don't have to show me or any other. Just go with the official ITIL definition word of what is an incident. I'll explain you what is an incident, but you have to go with the official definition of an incident. Okay? I believe we have made a note. If someone is making a note, just make a note that definition, official definition of an incident. Okay. Now, what is an incident? I'll give you a rough language so you can understand. And for this, I'll use Hindi or English also, both things. So maximum can cover. It's an important topic. Okay. First, go with the Gora language, English one. What is an incident? Any guess? Any rough guess? Just give 30 second or 20 second for a rough guess. What is an incident? Incident क्या होता है? आप प्रोडक्शन में हो. Now we are talking about production environment. डोंट से कि मैं गाड़ी से गिर गया तो वो इंसिडेंट था या एक्सीडेंट था. ऐसा नहीं है. जस्ट से क्या होता है. Yeah, Faisal, that's right. Unexpected. Pankaj, that's very close. Ajit, you're up to the topic. Yeah, excellent. Incident simply means unexpected, unwanted disruptions. यानी कि incident means, okay, before I explain incident, all are all are in a mindset that you are an administrator. You are sitting in an office, you are handling a project, whether you're sitting in office or home, you're handling in a project. Now you have to understand this perspective. Whatever I explain, you should be sitting on a chair of an administrator. That's okay. Then you're going to relate it. Otherwise, थोड़ा टफ हो जाएगा. मैं जो भी समझा रहा हूँ आपको एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर समझा रहा हूँ या आईटी पर्सन और सपोर्ट पर्सन. तो आपको मानना पड़ेगा कि यू आर अ सपोर्ट पर्सन, यू आर हडूप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. until unless you don't believe that you are a Hadoop administrator, आपको समझेगा नहीं और आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन में भी टफ जाएगा. स्टार्ट बिलीविंग. अपने आप पे भरोसा करो क्योंकि आप 3 महीने 6 महीने के बाद आप उस पोजीशन पे रहोगे. दैट्स व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग, दैट्स व्हाट द इंटरव्यूज यू आर गिविंग, दैट्स व्हाट द ऑफर लेटर यू आर गोइंग टू रिसीव एज एन Hadoop एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, बिग डेटा एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. यू हैव टू बिलीव इन दैट. until unless आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे तो सामने वाले को एक्सप्लेन कैसे करोगे, राइट? चलो. सो कीपिंग इन माइंड, यू आर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, यू आर सिटिंग इन ऑपरेशन, यू आर हैंडलिंग इट. कोई इंसिडेंट हुआ है. इंसिडेंट किसे कहते हैं? आईटी ऑपरेशंस में या फिर प्रोजेक्ट में इंसिडेंट होता है. यू रिसीव अ टिकट इन इंसिडेंट एज एन इंसिडेंट. इंसिडेंट कहते किसे है? बहुत सारों ने सही उसका रिप्लाई दिया है. सो डेफिनेशन आप देख लेना. लुक ऑन द एक्सप्लेनेशन. अनइंटरप्टेड एक्ट और अनवांटेड एक्ट. यानी कि आप आईटी में बैठे हो, यू एक्सपेक्ट कि आईटी ऑपरेशन सही चल रहा है, आपका नेम नोड इज अप, एवरी सर्विस आर इन गुड हेल्दी स्टेटस. दिस इज व्हाट यू एक्सपेक्ट. okay, this is your expectation, and now suddenly your name node goes down. That is not expected, that is not wanted from you, right? IT does not want any interruption. If that name node is gone, that event, वो वाली जो घटना है, that event, that particular instance, वो घटना, उसे कहलाएंगे incident. That is known as an incident. Unwanted interruption in the service. आईटी की जो ऑपरेशन चल रहे हैं, जो काम चल रहा है, उसे सर्विस कहेंगे हम. दैट इज एन इंसिडेंट. नाउ यू कैन इमेजिन, मेरे एक एक्सप्लेनेशन पे आप इमेजिन कर सकते हो कि क्या क्या ब्रेक हो सकता है आपके हडूप एनवायरनमेंट में. आपका हडूप चल रहा है लिनक्स एनवायरनमेंट पे. लिनक्स में क्या, हडूप इज वर्किंग फाइन. अगर लिनक्स में कुछ होता है तो कुछ नहीं भी होता है. अगर changes है, reboot है, defined reboots are there. What will happen? You will say नहीं नहीं मेरा Hadoop है, Hadoop तो चलता रहेगा. आपका Linux है, you can restart Linux. Can you say like that? Okay. Or Linux team will say you, okay, okay, it's a Linux, we will restart. हमको Hadoop team को क्यों inform करना है? Why should we inform to Hadoop team? Suddenly they restart all the cluster of their Linux. What will happen? क्या आपका cluster run करेगा? Will your cluster run very well? That's the question. What you say? Hmm. Yeah, that's right. No, exactly. If you give wrong answers, that's all totally acceptable. Huh? At least you have to try. You have to try wrong answers. If you don't know, you have to try. Yeah, Nabil says very well. Everything is dependent on each other. That's where this communication comes in. Each and every team, although they don't know each other very closely, they should be able to communicate their changes, their actions, okay, their incidents to each others. If a Linux server is down, obviously our Hadoop is also impacted. Hadoop team should be aware that there is something wrong with the Linux. That communication, ये जो communication हो रहा है, there is a difference. This difference should be communicated to each and everything. Now next question, ये करेगा कौन? Hadoop वाली team तो Hadoop पे काम कर रही है, Linux team working on the Linux. कौन है dedicated? Okay, it's a ITIL process. ITIL process है तो ITIL बंदे काम करते हैं उस पे. अगर ITIL बंदे नहीं है तो कौन करेगा? It's a ITIL tool. वो tool define किया जाता है इस तरह. It creates, it's deploy, it's managed and configured in such a way that tool helps teams to communicate within. Okay, you will be aware. No doubt emails will be there. There will be a separate channel to have a quick communication. That's different thing. But baseline of communication will be ITIL tool. We will take an example of ServiceNow from here. So when I say ServiceNow, you can assume it's a tool which follow ITIL guideline. It can be a different tool of HP company, BMC company, or any other companies, depending on the company. But I'll refer to ServiceNow. Okay? So I will not tell tool. When I say ServiceNow, you assume that it's a ticketing tool. Okay, that is an incident. If something is broken down, you have to fix. You sitting in an admin, now a name node is gone down, it's your responsibility. So you will receive a ticket. You will receive a ticket. If you have a monitoring team, a team who creates a ticket, who monitors the infrastructure, create a ticket and assign to you. It can be a separate team. In project, there are a couple of projects, more projects I can say, where there is no separate monitoring team. There will be a Hadoop team and there will be a Hadoop ticketing tool. Sorry, monitoring tool. It can be a different tool, monitoring tool all itself, or you can rely on Cloudera Manager to at least monitor the your application, Cloudera application, Hortonworks application, whatever you're saying. You got my point. There may be a team who are monitoring any disruption, any incident. They will create a ticket and they will assign to you. Or if you don't have such team, you might be L1, L2, L3. That's a different level of doing a task in IT. You might be doing those monitoring and creating a ticket and communicating to each and everyone that okay, name node is gone down. There will be a job failure, obvious job failure. Don't put anything new. We are trying to repair it. That's an admin you have to communicate. So now big question. I mean, it's an interview question. Okay, are you L1, L2, L3? Okay, next interview question. Do you receive ticket or do you create ticket? And it totally depends on the experience which you have. If you are just 1 year experience, 2 year experience, 1.5 experience, mostly you are L1. You just monitor and create ticket and give to them, and you perform regular tasks, which does not need any approval or which cannot, which by following just next, that can be done. It's all L1 task. It's up to you. So I'm not making it a standard for that. You don't create a ticket. Your experience may says that okay, you need to create ticket. Now you are moving to next step ahead in your career where you receive a ticket. So you can be receiving a ticket. I'll stop over here and I'll wait for your questions. Did you get my point? What is an incident? I have given you one example, how you receive a ticket. Now we are going to see how we are going to respond to ticket. What are the different priorities of the ticket? What do you mean by SLAs? Okay, Shakir says correctly. Medium low. Pratik is up to the topic. Yep, good. Medium low high. Abhijit asks what is L1, L2, L3. Yep. SLAs, excellent. Questions? Do you have any questions before we move to the priorities, urgencies, SLAs, and last topic will be service tickets. Okay, great. Yeah, I can see questions which can be explained later. But coming to the SLAs or the priorities, I believe you understand that. Okay, you receive an incident, but although it's an incident, interruption in the service, and it's a lunchtime, you're about to go to lunch, right? Looking at the incident ticket, how you will define that? Okay, I can do this incident, resolve this incident, या मैं ये वाला जो प्रॉब्लम है इसे बाद में सॉल्व करता हूँ लंच के बाद, या कल करता हूँ या कल करती हूँ, और या फिर इसे मुझे अभी करना है, राइट? देयर शुड बी समथिंग वेयर यू कैन टेक अ डिसीजन एज एन एडमिन कि मेरे पास ऑलरेडी एक काम है, मैं ये वाले काम को बाद में कर सकती हूँ या बाद में कर सकता हूँ. टिकट में वो कौन सी चीज है जो आप देखकर बता सकते हो, प्रायोरिटाइज कर सकते हो इस टास्क को. इन टिकट what can it be? Yeah, Fatima says it correctly. Priority and similarity depends on the priority. Mohammed Sahil, it's SLAs. Yep. Ishan, Pankaj, prioritization of the ticket. Abhishek, yep. Yep, most of you are up to the topic. It's priority, right? When you have a ticket, yeah, that's correct, guys. When you have a ticket, every incident ticket, huh, make a note of it. Every incident ticket should have a priority with it. Should have a priority with it. Every incident ticket. So next question. Apart from incident ticket, we have other tickets. Service tickets, problem tickets, change tickets, other tickets are there. Do they have priorities? Yes, they also have priorities, but each of them has their priority as per their nature, right? Like as of now, we are talking about incident. Understand the nature of priorities with respect to incident tickets, right? So what ITIL says that if something is broken and your company, your manager knows that it is very critical or it's not very critical, it can be done after 2 days, after 5 days also, or it has to be done as soon as possible. This whole thing can be defined by your company's management. They will understand the business requirement and they will say, hey, name node is down, that means our business is impacted. It is something you have to resolve as soon as possible, right? There might be another scenario where one user is not able to log in into Cloudera Manager. That is also an interruption in the service. It is expected that a manager or a user should log in, and he or she is not able to log in. That is also one incident. They are not able to log in. You have two different incidents. How ITIL helps you? How, as an admin, you looking at the ticket, you will make sure which one to focus first. So your focus can be defined. This policy or ITIL best practice says that if something is impacting your business, very critical, your business is down, cannot work without that, or you're losing a customer, you're losing a money, you're losing a reputation. Reputation is more than money. If you're losing something, that should be fixed as soon as possible. Okay, if you're booking something, if you're booking a flight, and if the website is down, application is down, that impacts the image or reputation of the company. Okay, money does not matter for the organization at that moment, yet their reputation is stacked. They will lose the shares. A lot of things will be there. I'm just giving you an overview what can be the consequences, impact on the business. Now, this is where admin comes in picture. You're sitting, you're going about for lunch. You receive a ticket with a priority. Okay, priority one. What's priority? I'll explain. And what's priority one? I'll explain. That means now you cannot go for a lunch. Ask your person, friend, wife, sister, mommy, whoever is there, order online and ask them to bring a lunch to your table. You cannot move up from the table. That's how complex it is. Now, what is priority? Priority is, as word says, you have to prioritize, make the what you say, assume a critical part of that which is broken, an incident which is raised. It is such on priority that business is impacted. That shows a priority, right? Now it has levels. How much impact is there on the business for this ticket? A name node is down. How much impact is there, and what number should I give? What ITIL says? If a user is not able to log in, what ITIL says, right? So they should, when a ticket is created, it should have a priority tag, private priority level. ITIL says you can define all your incident in 5 different level: priority one, priority two, priority three, priority four, priority five. In short, we say P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. I'll repeat. It's important, इसलिए मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. आपके इंसिडेंट टिकट प्रायोरिटाइज होते हैं, लेबल लगता है, तो कितना क्रिटिकल है, कितना अर्जेंट है, बेस्ड ऑन 5 different लेबल. दैट इज priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4 and 5. In short, or in official language, make a habit of saying P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Don't say priority 1, although it's priority 1. In office environment, we don't say priority 1, we say P1. That's differentiate with the experienced guy and a fresher. Experienced guy will never say priority 1, I'm working on priority 1. She or he will say I'm working on P1. You're understanding my words, that what differentiate between an experienced person. If you talk like this, if you use this word, you will sound like an experienced person. And this is what makes a difference in your interview and your production flow. That's why this session is very critical, not only just for the interview, for your production support also. Okay, so now what is P1, P1 or P5? What is urgent, right? Means what is high level of urgency, what is more critical? ITIL says if it's very critical, business is down, you can say P1 to that. Okay, the logic goes from like this: it's very critical, very urgent, highly impacted. Label that incident ticket as P1. If you receive a P1, sit over there, order a lunch and do it over there. I have seen a person, I myself have worked on more than 12 to 15 hours. I have slept in office due to working on a P1. So this is how it is impact. It's not only me, it's a complete team who is responsible, right from my manager, right from the client, because business is impacted. A high level of hierarchy will be there. It depend on the project, what project you are handling, multinational big project. If a small project, I have seen such a P1 is this, lunch के बाद देखते हैं, चलो यार कुछ नहीं. I have seen that also. So depend on the project. Huh? Please remember this also. Depend on the project of what you have to prioritize. That's why when you join a project, you should understand the documents. Okay, how P1, P2 are handled. What are the SLAs? Okay. So in short, P1 is very critical. Following P1, if you have something which can be deal later, but as soon as possible. Okay. P1 is like now only, not the no delay of a second. There is something which has a low priority from P1. It's going to be P2. There will be something which can be done after a couple of hours, couple of minutes. That's P3. Same goes with the P4 and P5. Now you will say what's the timeline of P1? How we can understand कि P1 इतनी ही देर में solve होना चाहिए, right? So as I said, it's a framework. ITIL says we have just given you a tags, best practice. Depend upon your business. Some business say if a business is stopped for 8 hours, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. We don't care if our business is not working for 8 hours. You can assign P1 for 8 hours. Okay. Some business say, okay, if it stop for 5 minutes also, we will lose millions. लाखों करोड़ों वेस्ट हो सकते हैं. मीन्स वेस्ट इन द सेंस जो बिजनेस आ रहा था 5 मिनट बंद है, 1 घंटा बंद है, यू आर गोइंग टू लूज दैट बिजनेस. इट्स अप टू यू. Whatever project you have defined or you are going to define, you have to look on the urgency. If you ask me, okay, what's the best practice you have followed, what you have seen, so that answer is like you have to give L1, L2, L3, L4. These 4 rounds definitely will answer your major questions. So those topics are for those round. You have to go for L1, L2, L3, L4. You have to go in a process, attempt them. You will get an answer. So today's session is not on that. I can see we already crossed. I'm really sorry, but it's a session where we have to create a base for you. Involve you means you have to involve. You should not be sleeping. ITL it's like a sleeping topic. That's why I just want you. Okay, someone has given. Ishan has given a photo of all. Uh, Ishan, no, I'm not sleeping. I'm not sure if others are sleeping. Guys, girls sleeping, or it's kind of interesting thing. Or you want me to give more examples? Just let me know. It's an interactive session. Means by that mean of text only. You're not talking. Okay, Kunal says interesting. Okay, great. Thanks for that. समझ में आया यहाँ तक? आप एडमिन हो, इंसिडेंट आया. P1 है या P5 है, P3 है, उसके बेस पे आप डिफाइन करोगे कि मैं मेरा दूसरा काम कर सकती हूँ या नहीं कर सकती हूँ, या कर सकता हूँ या नहीं हो सकता हूँ, राइट? So I believe we have girls also. That's why I'm including girls and boys. Okay. Everything is fine. Now you understand you receive P1, both ticket, P1 and P5. You receive 2 tickets. This is question for you. Which one will you do first? क्या कहते हो? If you receive P1 and P5, both ticket at a same time, which one you will do? Shakir was very quick. Great. Prajakta. Okay. Thanks for joining the call. Uh, okay, I'll ping later. Just remind me one thing. Hayan is up to lunch. Great. P1 before lunch and P5 after lunch. Awesome. That's great. Actually, these are the interview questions. And these questions are asked by manager when you have a last round, right? You have cleared all the technical terms. Manager will not ask you technical things in detail. If she or he are technical manager, that's a different point. But still, they will look on the process because they know you have cleared the technical rounds. You are well enough to get educated. They know that we can teach you, but they just want to see how much process you know. Are you going to listen to them? Are you able to understand them? Are you going to learn? They are hiring because you can learn. They are not hiring because you will provide solution to them. That's a different thing. Most of the time manager or client look for a person if he or she is able to get trained, understand our infrastructure. They should not ask on the floor what is P1. That's what they expect. So on your last round, client round or manager round, this kind of question you'll receive. And these are the questions which we get feedback from the candidates, that this is what they have asked. And this is what we say. Have you given for L4? Have you gone through ITL session? They say no. तो हम बोलते भैया चुपचाप से पहले वो सेशन कर लो. फिर जाओ रियल टाइम के लिए, बिकॉज विदाउट लिसनिंग टू दिस, although you have given hard working 2 to 3 technical rounds, but if you're not up to topic on the ITIL, at least go through it. Okay, that will impact your interviews. Don't ruin your interviews. Fine. Moving to next topic, next scenario, next interview question. Okay, now most of you say you will work on P1. That's fine. अब मुझे ये बताओ, आप P1 पे स्टार्ट तो किए काम, लेकिन कब तक करोगे? राइट, देयर शुड बी सम एक्सपेक्टेशन. कंपनी को पता होना चाहिए कि बिजनेस बंद है, P1 रेज है, और वो अर्जन करना है. आपने स्टार्ट भी किया, आपने एक्नॉलेज किया टिकट को कि आई एम वर्किंग, और आपने स्टार्ट भी किया. लेकिन कब तक करोगे? लंच से लेके डिनर तक करोगे? हाँ रुको थोड़ा, मैं इसको अभी रिजॉल्व कर रहा हूँ, ट्राइंग टू रिजॉल्व इट. आपका मैनेजर कहता है यार क्लाउडेरा टीम को टिकट या केस रेस करो, उनको इन्वॉल्व करो. तुम बोलते हो नहीं नहीं नहीं, वेट वेट, हो जाएगा, मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ, मैं डॉक्यूमेंट्स पढ़ रहा हूँ. कितना टाइम है? व्हाट थिंग डिफाइंस that if you are following any ticket like P1 incident ticket, this is a time where you have to complete within this time. इतनी देर में करो, इतनी देर में आप करो इसको, नहीं तो हमारा बिजनेस इम्पैक्ट रहेगा. Awesome. Got a good reply. Kishore says SLA, excellent. Most of you know that SLA. I think that this session is just for the refreshing of. Most of you know most of the things. That's great. SLAs, yes. If SLAs are not completed, then what? That's the next topic. Coming back to the SLA, guys, I have 2 more topics to discuss with you. Means minor topics. One is SLA and service request. Second is service request. And I know I have already crossed my time. I'm really sorry for that. But that was important to build your base, as I said. So for next session, I'll be very quick. I will expect that you know the base of ITL and everything. कृति जवाब से एग्जैक्टली, हमें कहते हैं उससे, अगर एसएलए ब्रीच हुआ तो क्या होगा? बैम्बू सेशंस. बैम्बू सेशन इज अ टर्म इन आईटी, जहाँ पे अगर किसी को डांटना हो, स्पेशली मैनेजर को, कोई टीम मेंबर को, तो अलग मीटिंग रूम में या टीम रूम में ले जाते हैं, और वहां पे उनको डिस्कशन होता है, डांटना होता है, जो भी बोलना है, तो उसको बैम्बू सेशंस कहते हैं. बहुत टर्म्स है आईटी में, जो अगर आप बोलते हो इंटरव्यू में बैम्बू सेशन नहीं कहना प्लीज. हाँ, लेकिन आप जब बात करते हो किसी से और ये वर्ड यूज करते हो एज पर द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, किसी ने बात किया तो उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आप ये वर्ड यूज करते हो, तो यू साउंड लाइक एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन. या वी jokes and means this kind of things are always welcome. That makes environment very easy and friendly, so you can do joke also, but up to the topic. Okay, SLA. Now what is SLA? हम लोग ने इंसिडेंट से स्टार्ट किया, प्रायोरिटीज देखिए. नाउ वी आर जंपिंग टू एसएलए. सर्विस लेवल एग्रीमेंट. फुल फॉर्म ऑफ एसएलए, सर्विस लेवल एग्रीमेंट. दैट मीन्स एक एग्रीमेंट होता है. जब ये डिफाइन होता है, कौन करेंगे एग्रीमेंट? जैसे मैंने कहा था, ये सारी चीजें पहले डिफाइन होती है बिजनेस को देखकर. बिजनेस पर्संस, मैनेजर्स, मैनेजमेंट, दे विल डिसाइड एंड दे विल से, देखो एडमिन, हमारे पास P1 रेज होता है. अगर इंसिडेंट रेज हुआ और P1 रेज हुआ तो उसका एसएलए 1 घंटा है. तमिल से मैंने ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट देखा है जहाँ पे आधा घंटा होता है, कहीं पे देखा है 8 घंटा होता है. एज आई सेड, इट्स टोटली डिपेंड ऑन प्रोजेक्ट टू प्रोजेक्ट. डोंट गो फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक थिंग. राइट, फॉर यू दिस इज योर नेक्स्ट असाइनमेंट. आपके प्रोजेक्ट में P1 से P5 इसका एसएलए क्या होगा? क्या टाइम में? एसएलए मीन्स रेजोल्यूशन टाइम. आप कितनी देर में रिजॉल्व करके दोगे? आपके प्रोजेक्ट में बिजनेस ने क्या डिफाइन किया है? इट्स असाइनमेंट फॉर यू. टेक हेल्प. आपको ये कहीं नहीं मिले, मतलब डोंट सर्च ऑन गूगल. गूगल आपको भी बताएगा कि क्या टाइम होता है, टाइम किसे कहते हैं. और ये जैसे मैंने बताया कि प्रोजेक्ट टू प्रोजेक्ट डिफाइन होता है. जो प्रोडक्शन में काम कर रहा है वही आपको बता पाएगा. whoever takes your L1, not L1 means technical round, L2, L3, L4, you can ask to that person, आपके प्रोजेक्ट में SLAs क्या है बता दो. टेक दैट SLAs एंड कीप इट एज योर SLAs, राइट, क्योंकि वो प्रोडक्शन से आ रहा है, वो रिलेवेंट लगेगा. एवरी कंपनी हैज डिफरेंट SLAs. यस, स्टार्ट में बोला था ना, ITIL ने सिर्फ बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस बोला है. आपको बोला है P1 बना लो, और आपके बिजनेस पर डिपेंड करता है कि आपका बिजनेस कितनी देर तक इम्पैक्ट रहेगा, बेस्ड ऑन दैट आप एसएलए बना लो। और फिर आप एडमिन होने, यू हैव टू जस्ट फॉलो, यू डोंट हैव टू गो एंड क्रिएट एसएलए, राइट? इट विल बी क्रिएटेड। यू शुड बी नो कि एसएलए क्या है। आपको P1 रेज हुआ, आपने एसएलए पूछा क्या है, वो बोला 1 घंटा, आपको पता तो होना चाहिए 1 घंटा एसएलए मतलब क्या होता है। बोल रहे ठीक है 1 घंटा ना, कल करते हैं ऑफिस टाइम में, अभी तो लॉग आउट करने का टाइम हो गया। यू शुड नॉट से लाइक दैट। ओके, मोहम्मद साहिल हैज गिवन some example. 2, 8, 3, 6, 9. That's one example, and that can be for one project. Exactly. Yeah. As I said, depends on the project to project. You can pick this one, you can create your, but don't go beyond that. Don't go beyond, means for P1, don't have less than half an hour or more than 8 hours. Okay, for 8 hours means of business day. One business day is considered as 8 hours. So don't go beyond 8 hours for P1, and for P5, don't go beyond 2 weeks. 1 week is a standard I have seen in most of the project. 2 weeks depend on the project, but I have never seen 2 weeks. So between this, you can create. Yeah, acknowledgement time. Coming to that also. Okay, I believe you are aware of what is SLA is. Okay, ये अपने अपने प्रोजेक्ट के लिए असाइनमेंट कर लेना प्लीज। देन ओके, आपने देखा इंसिडेंट रेज हुआ, आपने देखा P1 रेज हुआ, यू सॉ द एसएलए इज 1 hour फॉर एग्जांपल। ओके, और आपने उसको स्टार्ट कर दिया वर्किंग। ओके, आपको टिकट रिसीव हुआ था, आपने स्टार्ट कर दिया वर्किंग, लेकिन जिस रिसीव किया था आपका मैनेजर, आपका क्लाइंट, यूजर्स, दैट यू आर स्टार्टेड वर्किंग, उनको कैसे पता चलेगा? दे विल बी इन लाइक, यार पता ही नहीं चल रहा है काम स्टार्ट हुआ नहीं हुआ, राइट? इस कम्युनिकेशन को फिल करने के लिए एक टर्म है, दैट इज नोन एज एक्नॉलेजमेंट। ओके, यस ऋषिकेश, एग्जैक्टली, एक्नॉलेजमेंट। इन अ टिकट, जब आपको टिकट रेज होता है ना, कोई भी टिकट, तो जब व्हेन यू रिसीव अ टिकट, कोई भी प्रायोरिटी का रहने दो, स्पेशली P1 का, आपको उस टिकट पे एक्नॉलेज एक ऑप्शन होता है, इस पे क्लिक करना होता है, या उसको आप अपने नाम पे असाइन करते हो, तो इट्स लाइक यू एक्नॉलेज कि मैंने असाइन किया है, आई एम स्टार्टिंग वर्किंग। ऑल्दो अ क्लाइंट इज सिटिंग इन यूएसए, इन यूरोप, ओके, in Middle East, in China, somewhere in China, how they will know कि in Pune you're sitting on a table, you're doing your lunch or you're doing a ticket? They will not know. If you click on acknowledge button on a P1, or if you assign it to your name, it will reflect same ticket, same tool, but reflect at their end, and they will be like, okay, someone or admin has acknowledged, they have started working. So this is known as acknowledgement, and it also has a time. Acknowledgement का भी एक अपना टाइम डिफाइन होता है। आपके एसएलए का 1 घंटा है, 1 घंटे में आप रिजॉल्व करो, लेकिन आपको उतनी देर में एक्नॉलेज करना है, तो दैट इज नोन एज एक्नॉलेजमेंट। तो एक्नॉलेजमेंट का भी एक टाइम होता है, अगेन डिपेंड करता है एसएलए पे, प्रोजेक्ट पे किसका क्या टाइम रहेगा। और नाउ यू नो कि आपको कैसे पता चलेगा। जब आप इंटरव्यू में जाओगे, जब L2 L3 L4 दोगे, वो बंदे से पूछना, जैसे हेल्प मी विद दी दिस थिंग, एक्नॉलेजमेंट क्या है, एक अपने प्रोजेक्ट के लिए बना लो, और सारे इंटरव्यूज में वही बोलना है विद कॉन्फिडेंस, राइट? ओके, देयर इज वन मोर टर्म इन इंसिडेंट, एंड वी आर डन विद द इंसिडेंट, and we will jump to service request. I'll take you 5 to 7 minutes more. That is severity. Okay, severity is almost like making your incident important, labeling your incident, how important it is. हमने एक एग्जांपल देखा कि हम हमारे इंसिडेंट को P1 से P5 तक लेबल लगा सकते हैं, उसको देखकर everyone can react. Somewhere, if you raise a ticket to Amazon, right? If you raise a ticket to Cloudera call it as a case, not ticket. They call it as a case. So if you want to raise, if you go on their portal and if you click on a ticket to create a ticket and you want to raise it as a P1, you will not see a P1 over there. What you will see? You will see severity 1. Know what this severity means? It's almost similar to priorities, almost not similar, but couple of organizations label it as a severity. S1, S2, S3. I have seen these three. I have seen project who works on S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5 also, similar to P1 to P5, S1 to S5. Severity 1 means how critical it is. Save 1 means it's very critical like P1. Okay. So you stick to P1 tags only. Don't go to severity. We follow P1 tags. That is severity. And there is a ITIL question of this thing. What's the difference between priority and incident? Priority and severity. That's a different thing. Don't go into that. Priority is something which shows urgency, right? How urgent that incident must be resolved. Severity means what's the impact of that incident on the business. Severity simply means impact. Priority simply means urgency. That's a different. Don't go into that. We have to just stick to the P to P5. Last topic, I'll take more 4 minutes and I'll open the question for you. Service sequence. This is incident in short. There are other things we don't have to care about those things now. We'll learn in detail when you hit L4 in our hierarchy of L1, L2, L3, L4. We'll get to know. But when you give interview, let it be L1 or real-time interview, L2, L3 or real-time interview, just mention those words. I worked on high priority incident tickets. I handle P1, P2s. Just raise those tickets. Okay. I know पूछ रहे होंगे कि कैसे बताना, बोल तो दिया P1 handle करते करते कैसे है. We will teach you. Yeah, that's why we are here. But you have to say. Service request. Moving to service request, I'll take both questions, incident and service at a time. Let me complete the service request from my end. Service request or SR, in short, SR. You can say service request, mostly we refer it as SR. What is service request? Now, I'll give you one example. आप admin की तरह बैठे हो production पे, अभी एक टिकट आता है, you receive a SR. आपने देखा ये इंसिडेंट नहीं है, ये सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट है. आप बोलते हैं ये क्या है यार, ये तो ऐसा टिकट है, ये क्या होता है? When you read डिस्क्रिप्शन में देखा यूजर ने कहा मुझे ये डेटाबेस पे या ये डायरेक्टरी पे जो है राइट परमिशन चाहिए. Okay. Now understand the difference between incident and service request. Then we will come what is service request. Okay. इंसिडेंट में देयर वाज समथिंग ब्रोकन. आपके इंसिडेंट कब हुआ था? जब कुछ रुक गया था, जिसकी वजह से आपका एक यूजर या पूरा बिजनेस इंपैक्ट होता है. सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट में क्या हुआ है? यूजर को कोई सर्विस चाहिए. दे वांट सम प्रिविलेज, समथिंग टू यूज, समथिंग टू एक्सेस. यहाँ पे कुछ टूटा नहीं है. A user, he or she is already working now. They realize that कुछ डेटा सेट है जिसपे उनको परमिशन चाहिए, राइट की परमिशन, रीड की परमिशन. तो उन्होंने वो टिकट रेज किया. So this is a different in incident and service request. That in incident something is broken. In service request something is requested to grant a privilege, okay, or to revoke a privilege. So service request होती क्या है? आपके यूजर में या बिजनेस में किसी को कोई सर्विस एक्स्ट्रा चाहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं चल रही है, दे नीड, कोई नया यूजर आता है, नया डेवलपर आता है, राइट? दे नीड एक्सेस टू योर यू पे एक्सेस देते हो, राइट? अच्छा, आपसे क्वेश्चन है, क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर का एक्सेस आप दोगे क्या डेवलपर को? अगर हाँ तो कितना एक्सेस दोगे? लेट मी सी इफ यू आर स्लीपिंग. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग. सही हो जरूरी नहीं है, यू शुड नॉट स्लीप. विशाल सेज करेक्टली, रीड ओनली. मोमेंट राइट ऑन द टॉपिक. बिल्कुल नहीं. फैसल एग्जैक्टली नो. ग्रेट. आपका टेक्निकल भी बहुत अच्छा है यार. दैट्स रियली ग्रेट. दैट्स रियली ग्रेट. अभिजीत, याप, सेंट्री, अप टू द टॉपिक. मोहम्मद साहिल, पिंगो, यू. दैट्स राइट. सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट होती है जहां पे कोई प्रिविलेज देनी हो. ये होता है व्हेन यू जॉइन अ Hadoop टीम. आप कोई नया डेवलपर आता है, आपको सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट आती है. वी हैव अ न्यू डेवलपर टीम, और डेवलपर खुद रेस करेगा उसके बिहाफ में मैनेजर. ये डेवलपर है वो इस ग्रुप को बिलोंग करता है, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कौन से ग्रुप को बिलोंग करता है. मैनेजर विल गिव यू डिटेल, या अगर नहीं आती है डिटेल, जैसे वो यूजर नया है, उसको कुछ नहीं पता, उसने एक टिकट रेस कर दिया, उसने किसी को बोला कि टिकट रेस करो Hadoop टीम को. वो लोग रिकामे बैठे होते, कुछ काम नहीं होता है उनको, कर लेंगे. ऐसा लगता है Hadoop टीम काम नहीं करती है, दूसरों को ऐसा लगता है. बिकॉज दे डोंट सी द एफर्ट्स ना, कीबोर्ड पे हाथ रखे बस टक 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 चल रहा है, उनको वो दिखता है। वो एंजॉयमेंट्स हमारी अपनी एंजॉयमेंट्स होती है, हमारे अपने ब्रेक्स होते हैं, वो डेवलपर्स का अलग है, हमारा अपना टाइम होता है, वी डोंट फॉलो डेवलपर्स। वो उनके अलग प्रिविलेजेस, हमारे अलग, तो उनको ऐसा लगता है हम देख कर कि हडूप टीम कुछ काम की नहीं है यार, काम नहीं करते, सिर्फ सैलरी लेते हैं, राइट। ओके, सोनू कुमार से माइंडसेट या नितिन दैट्स करेक्ट, काम करो उतना पगार मिले जितना, एग्जैक्टली ये दूसरों को नहीं बोलने का, दूसरे समझते भी नहीं है, दैट्स राइट। तो चलो एक डेवलपर आ गया, आपको मैनेजर ने टिकट रेस किया, तो वो जो टिकट होगा सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट होगा, उसकी अपनी प्रायोरिटीज होती है अगेन, कि एक डेवलपर को कितनी जल्दी आप सारे एक्सेस दो, ये प्रोजेक्ट पर डिफाइन होता है। तो सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट की ऐसे कोई मतलब कोई पूछता नहीं है, फिर भी एक डिफाइन करके रख लेना। कहाँ से डिफाइन करोगे ना, यू नो किससे पूछना है, राइट, या कब पता चलेगा आपको। सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट इतना ही था कि आपको टिकट आता है, उसकी एक एसएलए प्रायोरिटी होती है, लेकिन उसके अंदर होता है कि आपको क्या क्या एक्सेस देना है। और कमिंग टू माय टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन, क्लाउड हम क्या एडमिन को, सॉरी डेवलपर्स को क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर का एक्सेस देते हैं क्या? आई हैव सीन प्रोजेक्ट्स जहां पे डेवलपर को कोई एक्सेस नहीं होता है क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर का, उनका काम होता है सिर्फ यू पे। ओके, ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट देखा है, कहीं मैंने ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट देखा है कि डेवलपर को क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर का सिर्फ रीड ओनली एक्सेस है। पहली बात तो लॉजिकली टेक्निकली डेवलपर को क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर पे करना क्या है, वो सिर्फ एडमिन के लिए है, राइट। द मैनेजमेंट, द मेंटेनेंस इज अप टू द एडमिन, व्हाट दे विल सी। अगर वो एरर देखे भी तो उनको लगेगा अरे यार कितना अच्छा डेकोरेट किया है ना, रेड कलर है, एम्बर कलर है, ग्रीन कलर है, दे विल सी लाइक दिस, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दोस कलर मींस, है ना। सो कमिंग टू द माय क्वेश्चन, टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन, इट्स अप टू यू, आप प्रोजेक्ट में क्या बताते हो। क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर एक्सेस दे भी रहे हो तो सिर्फ रीड ओनली देना। एक और एक चीज जो प्रोडक्शन में मैं बता दूं आपको, आपके पास क्वालिटी क्वालिटी का ये होता है, क्वालिटी चेक्स होते हैं जहां पे आपके पास ऑडिटर्स आते हैं। दो टाइप की क्वालिटी चेक होती है मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज। इंटरनल क्यूए होता है क्वालिटी चेक्स, क्वालिटी का एश्योरेंस वाली टीम होती है क्यूए टीम। एक एक्सटर्नल होता है जिसको हम ऑडिट बोलते हैं, इंटरनल ऑडिट, एक्सटर्नल ऑडिट। बेसिकली वो चेक करते हैं कि जिसको जो परमिशन देना है आपने उतना दिया या नहीं दिया। वो हर एक को चेक करेंगे, सिर्फ हडूप टीम नहीं, सबको, मैनेजर को भी पूछेंगे ये बंदे का ये काम है तो इसको ये मीन्स उसको ये डेटा बेस पे क्यों एक्सेस है। एक प्रोजेक्ट में 4 एप्लीकेशन है, वो डेवलपर 2 एप्लीकेशन पे काम कर रहा है, तो उस डेवलपर को बाकी 2 एप्लीकेशन पे क्यों एक्सेस है वो मैनेजर को पूछेंगे। ओके, वो तो ये होता है ऑडिट, ये इंटरनल भी होता है और ये बाहर से भी कराया जाता है। तो हमारे पास ऑडिटर्स आते हैं, क्लाउडेरा मतलब क्लाउडेरा का जब ऑडिट होता है बिग डेटा टीम का, तो ऑडिटर्स आते हैं, उनको एक्सेस लगता है टू रीड एवरीथिंग। इफ यू हैव नोटिस, अगर आपने क्लाउडेरा मैनेजर देखा होगा और जब आपने उसमें यूजर ऐड किया होगा ना, यू माइट हैव नोटिस उसमें प्री बिल्ड कुछ रोल होते हैं, लाइक फुल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, राइट, रीड ओनली, और एक होता है उसमें ऑडिटर, राइट, और ऐसे कुछ प्रिविलेजेस होते हैं, पावर यूजर्स। उस टाइम पे हम ऑडिटर वाला देते हैं, ऑडिटर मीन्स इट्स रीड ओनली लेकिन थोड़ा सा एडवांस होता है। सो चलो ये तो प्रोडक्शन का एग्जांपल हो गया। एज एन एडमिन यू हैव टू वर्क, यू हैव टू सी, अब ये सारे प्रोसेस ऑलरेडी डिफाइन होते हैं व्हेन यू जॉइन अ कंपनी। केटी होता है, केटी इन द सेंस नॉलेज ट्रांसफर, जिसको हम ट्रेनिंग बोलते हैं ना, ट्रेनिंग, उसे ट्रेनिंग नहीं कहते हम कंपनी में प्रोडक्शन में, उसे हम कहते हैं केटी, नॉलेज ट्रांसफर। तो केटी में आपको बता दिया जाता है ये सारी चीजें जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। आई एम स्टॉपिंग ओवर हियर। मेरा जो टॉपिक था आज का डिस्कशन था, आई नो हैव टेकन अ बिट मोर टाइम, सॉरी फॉर दैट। नाउ the floor is open for the questions. You can put your questions Hindi, English, जितना हो सकता है you can say. जितना मुझे आता है मैं वो reply करूँ, it's not like that. Someone asked me question in Punjabi. Yeah, I know Punjabi, a bit Punjabi. I'm sorry, Ishan. I have given a timeline, so I have to follow that. Couple of guidelines are there, not to share the details, matlab, this thing, numbers and everything now. When you receive L2, L3, L4 level kind of thing, you will get into touch with our platform. We have different platform for the admins who are really working over there. They will help you to prepare for your interviews. CloudAge guidelines. Yes, Sayan. Name it. My name is Salim Mohammed, and if you try to find me on LinkedIn, I'm really sorry, I'm not on LinkedIn. You won't be able to find me on Facebook, Twitter, anything. I'm still live in a jungle, guys. I don't follow any social media kind of thing. In fact, LinkedIn is a professional platform. I don't follow that also. I don't have anything. In fact, I just have my smartphone a couple of years before that too, just to go to WhatsApp because we have WhatsApp group, right? When I joined Cloudage, that time I have to purchase because I was missing a lot of important learning topics because I was not having a smartphone, and it was because I don't like to have a smartphone. The point is that learning you have to adopt whatever is helping you in learning, and you have to leave whatever is stopping you to learn. It let it be a smartphone, let it be your फ्रेंड्स. सर क्या बोलते हैं ऐसे दोस्तों को जो टाइम वेस्ट करते हैं, कुछ याद है? आप लोगों ने सुना है क्या सर क्या बोलते हैं? फ्रेंड्स हु वेस्ट योर टाइम, एग्जैक्टली पकिया नकिया. एंड बिलीव मी 100% सही है यार. वो पकिया नकिया मींस बेचारे गलत नहीं है. नाउ यू हैव डेवलप सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सो दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग नीड सम एनवायरनमेंट. वो बहुत मुश्किल से आती है, और आप अगर 10-15 मिनट आधा घंटा बैठते हो पकिया नकिया के साथ, तो जितनी डेवलप हुई थी ना वो चली जाती. So don't leave them as of now until unless you achieve something. Then go within them. Try to bring them on next level. छोड़ के जाना नहीं है. Try to make them also aware that देख यार मैंने एक mindset change किया है. मुझे उससे फायदा हुआ है. Now you can use it. Just share the best practice. Friends are not for the benefits or losses. Friends are for the best times. Okay? So use them. Don't leave them. Use them in the sense, show them, teach them. So it says 5 minutes for HR rounds. I believe you have L1 as a HR round, but when you hit L4, okay, although if you are assigned to me, I'll try my best because I don't just have L4. I try my best to give you dedicated time. That's why I take just one candidate at a time. I take 1 to 2 weeks. I prepare myself. I see candidate's profile and try my best to share whatever experience I have. Salary discussion also, yes, we have 2 rounds. First HR round, that is known as screening round, and at the last when you complete all the rounds, technical round, manager round, client round, that's a salary negotiation round. HR client round, yeah, definitely, but not now. I would suggest that focus on the round which you have as of now. Like you are going to L2, focus on L2. Then if you receive L3, go on L3. Obviously all your question will be addressed. You have to note your questions. हाँ, ऐसा होता है कि आप कुछ महीनों में भूल जाओगे. When you hit L3, L4 after a couple of days, weeks or months, you might forget them. So make a separate notes. जितने questions है, let them ask on the appropriate platform. Okay, client round. Abhijit is going through L4. Great. Uh, so Abhijit, whoever is been assigned to you, they will help you. But if you still have some means, if you still want to know a bit extra, what you can do, you can ask to administration in Cloud to give my number or assign to me. If I will available, I'll try my best to connect with you, Abhijit. Or okay, just let me know if they give you my number. I have couple of this thing documents or recordings which will help you out. But as of now, please don't go with those topics. As I said, go step by step. If you prepare your current step, automatically that will bring you on the next step. So preparing on the first step helps you to move on step two. Don't think of a step two when you're in step one. Focus on step one. Automatically that step itself bring you up. Okay. Any more questions regarding topic discussion which we have? Receiving from L1 to Hadoop admin team. That's a good know more about this thing. Ask administration, CloudAge administration to give my number. You can WhatsApp me. We will connect later. Means as of now, I have already taken your half an hour more. So I don't want to take everyone's time. Guys, those who want, they can disconnect. Those who have questions, just chat in this window. Thank you for your time, guys. If you want, you can please drop off from this call. Huh? Thanks for your time. And please go through your assignments. That will help you. Abhishek says, can we forward the ticket? Yes, obviously, it's very natural. If you're working for L2, you have couple of time. If you're not able to do that in that time, you have to involve or transfer that ticket to L3. Or if you're working as L3 and you're not able to do that, you as L3, that is last resource. You can talk to your architect, but architect says, okay, this is a product bug. To raise a ticket, you have to transfer that ticket to Cloudera. Means open a new ticket and say in your ticket that okay, this ticket is now with the Cloudera and they are looking into it. Any more questions? Technical questions? Okay, I can see people are dropping off. That means no further questions. If you still have, let's connect tomorrow. What we will do, we will start with the question session, whatever we have done till now, and then we'll continue. Tomorrow will be problem management and change management. Thank you everyone for your time. Sorry for the extra space which I have taken, but hope this will help you. Uh, Let's see tomorrow. Bye till then.